Great to have you with us. Apparently, Mark Mitchell from Rasmussen put a tweet out last night. He had a whistleblower tell him that the couple people that were leading the effort to knock on doors for Republicans were fudging the numbers to meet their goal and didn't actually knock on the doors. I mean, I'm sorry, folks. I don't know if it's true or not. It's Mark Mitchell's. I got it written down here to call him. I mean, WTF? I mean, what are we doing? I'm frustrated because it's November 11th, and I can tell you that the referendum in Virginia in April, there is no plan. I can guarantee you right now, there is no plan, no RNC plan, no RVP plan, no RNCC plan. There's no plan, and everybody's banking on a lawsuit. I mean, you want to roll the dice? Fine. I don't. I like to gamble, but I don't roll the dice on like the country, right? I'll bet $50 on the Packers. Come on, man. You're rolling the dice on a bunch of judges? I mean, come on. You got to defeat them. Oh, well. Speaking of defeating, finally, victory for John Eastman coming up. Johnny, man, you've been in this battle for so long. Where's your pardon?
Well, as commentators are saying out publicly, it doesn't reach the state prosecutions. So we're still dealing with the criminal charges in Georgia and Arizona. This Friday is a big day down in Georgia. If the prosecuting attorney's counsel doesn't identify a new prosecutor, the case is going to be dismissed, according to the judge. And then the same thing in Arizona with next Friday. The attorney general has to decide whether to convene a new grand jury or take an appeal to the state Supreme Court of the decision ordering her to go back to the grand jury because she made a biased presentation to it. So hopefully those two cases will fall by the wayside in the next 10 days as well.
So we have this Friday, and what were the two dates?
Yeah, this Friday in Georgia, November 14th, and next Friday in Arizona, November 21st.
And then 11/21 in Arizona. What is your confidence about Arizona?
It's looking good. I think the attorney general realizes that they've wasted a lot of money on this. You've now got determinations in Michigan that there was no crime committed by the electors because they were exercising their constitutional right to petition the government for redress of grievances. You had an earlier ruling out of Georgia to the same effect. And I think that's right. It's certainly consistent with the historical precedent we have from John Kennedy's electors in Hawaii in 1960. And so this whole thing is manufactured around a false narrative that electors couldn't cast contingent votes to preserve their ongoing litigation and other challenges to illegality in the 2020 election.
What about these NGOs that are suing the federal government to get their money? How can you be a non-governmental and whatever? What does NGO stand for? Non-governmental something?
Non-governmental organization. Yeah, no. Non-governmental organization that's entirely funded by the government and pursuing agendas that are directly contrary to our national interest. The notion that our taxpayers have been funding this for years is bizarre, but the notion that we have to continue funding it now that we've disclosed the corruption and fraud is particularly bizarre. So, but look, if there's a big fight over whether Congress can compel the president to spend money, particularly in arenas that he has exclusive authority, like foreign policy. USAID money was designed to help implement the president's foreign policy. And under our Constitution, the president gets to set our foreign policy, not committees in Congress, not non-governmental organizations. And so there's a big dispute on if Congress says you must give $10 billion to our favorite NGO, and the president says, no, that's not consistent with my foreign policy. I think the president wins that fight at the end of the day when it gets to the Supreme Court. But that's what the fight's about. It's a separation of powers fight. Can Congress compel the president to spend monies in ways that are contrary to his foreign policy agenda?
Let's get to tariffs and SCOTUS. The questioning from some of the conservative judges was alarming. to many of us. I'm now, what's the word? Very concerned. I'll be calm here. Very concerned about not getting a 5-4 majority on these tariffs and the chaos that would ensue. What say you, Johnny?
Yeah. So, this is another one where the president's exercise of executive power lies at the intersection of legislative power and executive power. Tariffs, look like a tax, and our power to tax is vested in the legislature. But more importantly, and I think General Sauer made this point repeatedly in the oral argument, although it didn't seem to get much traction, tariffs are also an exercise of regulatory authority. It's a tool in the toolbox for the president exercise of foreign affairs. And what he's clearly doing here is using it for that. The funds raised are incidental. He's using this as a diplomatic tool in his foreign affairs agenda. And the president's power in foreign affairs arena is almost exclusive. And so we have the same kind of battle there that we had on the one we just talked about. And it looked like from the questions, the court didn't appreciate that distinction. I hope as they reflect on it more after oral argument, they will come around. But you're right. I mean, there were some very strong questions that indicated, this is a tax, end of story. Legislature has the power to tax, the president doesn't. But it's not merely a tax. It's also a tool for the exercise of foreign policy. And that's the way the president has been using it, and to very good effect.
Well, what is your prediction?
I hate predicting because there's a lot of discussion that goes on. Yeah. Just from the oral argument, I'd say that their court's going to hold that he doesn't have the authority to issue the tariffs, and I think that'll be terrible. You're right. The chaos will be
chaos.
Yeah,
we're going to have to pay back $1 trillion. I mean, it's insane.
It is insane, and that's why I hope, as they're deliberating about this and see what kind of impact it's going to have. I mean, they're basically second guessing the president on the exercise of foreign affairs. The court repeatedly throughout our history says that's not our job. And I hope they come to their senses before they issue the ruling.
People want to help you, John. Where do they go?
GiveSendGo.com/Eastman. We're in the final stages. We hope. We've got the 2 criminal proceedings and then the state bar proceedings still pending. So help me get over the hump and put this thing finally to bed.
John, thanks.
GiveSendGo.com/Eastman.
Thank you, John. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
All right.